there's some surprisingly positive news in the latest snapshot of Canada's economy today. Numbers released by Statistics Canada show a growth in GDP despite the country being locked in a trade war with the United States. And that means we've avoided a technical recession. Now, what does that actually mean? I'm going to turn to my buddy, CBC senior business reporter Peter Armstrong, who's here in studio now with his papers in hand. What does this actually mean, Peter?
So remember, all a recession is 2 back-to-back quarters of negative growth. The second quarter, April, May, and June, clobbered by the trade war, right? The deepest part of the uncertainty, we saw the economy contract like 1.6%. So then you get into July and August, and we saw the numbers, one went up, one went down. So it was all come down to September. Would the economy dodge this technical definition of recession or not? Lo and behold, it did. But there's two really important points that are sort of sidebar to that. One is whether we dodged a technical recession or not, the economy is really weak. And if you're caught up in the corners of the economy that are being still hit very hard, if you live in Windsor, Ontario, or if you work in the steel industry, or if you work in the softwood lumber industry, me sitting on television telling you that Canadian economy dodged a recession means absolutely nothing. It might, in fact, outrage you. The other is the math on how we actually calculate this is a little bit complicated. So we reached out to David Doyle, who's the head of economics at Macquarie Group, to just sort of get his sense of how we got here and what this means. Take a listen.
The headline, very strong, right? 2.6% quarter-on-quarter annualized. I don't think there was anyone out there that I'm aware of that expected such a strong headline. But when you unpack that and you look at the details, you see that the bulk of that came from just lower imports. So the fact that we were importing because of how GDP math works, that actually boosted the headline numbers. But beneath the surface, very weak.
And very weak, specifically, he says, in final domestic demand, which is just me and you consuming a lot of stuff. And so that weakness in the Canadian economy is still really prevalent and really important to measure, even if we dodge that technical definition of a recession, because, as David Doyle pointed out, the path out of this, even if the worst was back in the second quarter, right? Even if that was kind of the lowest part of the trough, and now we sort of grind out at like 0.3% growth for a little while, we're not going to actually get back to what we might consider proper growth of 1.5%, 2% growth until well into next year. And so this prolonged nature of just kind of being stuck in the mud, that is the nature of what these numbers tell us. And it matches up with the nature of what we're hearing from Canadians. When you talk to your neighbors, and I talk to businesses and CEOs across the country every day, that's what they're telling us. And that's why I think it's really important to celebrate. Hey, the fact that we dodged a recession, that's good. It speaks to the resilience of the Canadian economy. And it's a remarkable thing that it's been able to adjust so quickly. But it's also important to recognize where it hurts hard, and it's going to continue to hurt for a little while yet.
Really good to get that reality check. Peter Armstrong, thank you so much.
Cheers.